In a year where global cinema has become a battleground for truth, freedom, and artistic courage, one short film is standing out not only for its message, but for the weight of the names behind it. Hollywood heavyweight Ben Stiller and Oscar-winning producer John Lesher have joined forces as executive producers on Extremist, a gripping short film directed by Russian-American filmmaker Alexander Molochnikov. Competing in the live-action short category at the upcoming 98th Academy Awards, Extremist is far more than a film. It is a cry for justice, born from the heart of repression and exile. The project's core team, composed of Russian artists who fled their homeland for safety, brings a haunting authenticity to the screen, turning a simple act of resistance into a cinematic act of defiance. The film draws inspiration from the real-life case of Sasha Skochelenko, an artist sentenced to 7 years in prison for a quiet yet powerful protest, replacing supermarket price tags with anti-war messages. It's a story that, on the surface, might seem small, just a few pieces of paper swapped in silence. But in Russia's tightening climate of censorship, that act became a symbol of rebellion, a whisper that turned into a shout heard around the world. And now, through Molochnikov's lens, it's a story that Hollywood is helping to amplify. Molochnikov's Extremist captures the essence of courage under surveillance, a world where even truth can be deemed criminal. The film is as visually arresting as it is emotionally charged, brought to life by acclaimed cinematographer Mikhail Krichman, whose mastery of light and shadow perfectly encapsulates the tension between fear and hope. Through stark imagery and intimate storytelling, Extremist doesn't just tell Sasha's story. It reflects the broader human struggle against oppression. The involvement of Stiller and Lesher underscores the film's growing global importance. Both producers are known for backing daring, socially conscious projects, and their support gives Extremist a platform far beyond the festival circuit. We believe in the power of film to make people see what's being silenced. Stiller remarked in a recent statement. Lesher, whose credits include Birdman and Hostiles, echoed the sentiment, calling Extremist a rare work of truth that transcends borders. Their participation bridges worlds, connecting Hollywood's influence with the voices of those forced into exile, offering visibility to artists who risk everything for the right to speak freely. The film's cast, led by Victoria Moroshnichenko, Tinatin Dalakishvili, Lilian Malkina, and Arthur Smolyaninov, brings raw emotion and authenticity to the screen. Many of them, like the director, are living in exile, separated from their homeland, but united through a shared commitment to freedom of expression. Their performances capture not only the pain of isolation, but also the quiet strength of conviction. It's a story of sacrifice, told by those who have lived it. Since its premiere at the 2025 Telluride Film Festival, Extremist has been building unstoppable momentum. It has already earned 2 BAFTA Student Film Awards, the Jury Prize at the New Hampshire Film Festival, and the National Board of Review's Student Grant, distinctions that signal the film's emotional resonance and artistic precision. Critics have described it as unflinching, deeply human, and one of the most vital short films of the decade. In a year dominated by spectacle, Extremist stands apart for its simplicity, a minimalist narrative with a monumental impact. At its core, Extremist asks a question that reverberates far beyond the walls of any cinema. What does it mean to tell the truth when telling the truth becomes a crime? Director Alexander Molochnikov doesn't attempt to answer this outright. Instead, he invites viewers to feel it. This is the story of all those who have lived and continue to live in Russia, disagreeing with its policies. He said in an interview following the film's premiere, his words cut deep, echoing the sentiment that silence can be complicity, and art, even a short film, can be an act of rebellion. Molochnikov's journey to making Extremist has been as complex as the story itself. Once a rising filmmaker within Russia's creative scene, Yet rather than abandoning his roots, he chose to confront them through art. The result is a piece of filmmaking that resonates across borders, a testament to how creativity thrives even under pressure. With Stiller, Lesher, and a team of courageous collaborators, Extremist isn't just a contender for an Oscar. It's a reminder that the most dangerous act in a censored world is still to tell the truth. Extremist continues its run through the international film circuit. It has quickly evolved from a student mission-driven project into a global conversation piece. Audiences from Telluride to Berlin have responded with standing ovations, not simply because of its artistry, but because of what it represents: defiance in the face of fear. The short's delicate portrayal of Sasha's resistance reminds viewers that courage is not always loud. Sometimes it's found in quiet acts of conscience. Each frame, filled with deliberate stillness and emotional weight, urges viewers to reflect on their own role in confronting injustice. The decision of Stiller and Lesher to back such a politically charged film also sends a message to Hollywood that storytelling, at its best, is not about entertainment alone, but about empathy and accountability. By attaching their names to Extremist, these producers have not only amplified a vital narrative, but have also used their influence to protect and promote truth-telling artists who refuse to be silenced. Beyond its cinematic excellence, Extremist functions as a mirror for our times. It forces the global audience to recognize how fragile freedom of expression can be and how easily it can vanish when dissent is punished. Molochnikov's direction avoids sentimentality. Instead, it confronts viewers with stark realism. There are no heroes or villains, only ordinary people caught in extraordinary circumstances. The character inspired by Sasha Skochilenko is portrayed not as a martyr, but as a human being, scared, uncertain, yet unwilling to compromise her beliefs. This authenticity is precisely what has made the film resonate with critics and activists alike. For Stiller and Lesher, the project is a reminder that art can still shape the conscience of societies, sparking conversations that governments cannot control. In a world where misinformation spreads faster than truth, Extremist stands as a cinematic antidote, one that challenges apathy through empathy. The production itself was an act of courage, shot across multiple undisclosed locations. Extremist brought together a team of artists and technicians who faced real risks simply for participating. Many of them remain unable to return to Russia. Yet despite the uncertainty, there is hope woven through every scene. Mikhail Krichman's cinematography captures the gray beauty of exile, the sense of being caught between belonging and banishment. The quiet streets, dim light, and restrained performances all reinforce the emotional cost of speaking out. Producer Jean Shapiro and Forma Pro Film ensured that every detail, from the sound design to the editing rhythm, served the story's moral pulse. It's not just about one person, Molochnikov said in an interview. It's about the thousands who choose truth over safety every day. The audience, in turn, is left with a haunting question. Would we be brave enough to do the same? As Extremist approaches the Oscars, it carries with it the weight of more than awards. It carries testimony. The story of Sasha Skochilenko and those like her reminds the world that art and activism are often intertwined, especially when silence becomes complicity. Ben Stiller and John Lesher's involvement gives the film global visibility, but its message belongs to anyone who has ever faced consequences for telling the truth. Whether or not Extremist wins an Academy Award, its real victory lies in awareness, in reminding people that courage still matters. Molochnikov has said that he hopes the film will inspire others to speak even when it's dangerous, create even when it's forbidden, and believe even when it's hard. As the lights fade and the credits roll, what remains is a feeling, the unmistakable realization that freedom, like art, survives only when people dare to protect it. Extremist is not just a film, it's a statement, and the world is finally listening.